In 2006, 300 shook the world with its epic portrayal of brave Spartan warriors facing death itself. But nearly 20 years later, those very warriors in real life had to confront battles far more painful: shattered divorces, prolonged depression, addictions, and even near-death experiences from accidents. What really happened after the film ended? Let's uncover the truth behind the legend and pay tribute to the legacies they left behind. Gerard Butler as King Leonidas. Gerard James Butler was born on November 13, 1969 in Paisley, Scotland. He was 37 when he brought to life King Leonidas in 2006, the leader of 300 Spartan warriors in a fierce battle against the Persian Empire. The role transformed Butler into a global action icon, embodying a tragic hero audiences would never forget. Yet behind that image of strength, his real life was filled with pain. Butler's childhood was far from peaceful. His parents divorced when he was young, leaving a void in his life as he did not see his father for many years. Growing up, Butler dreamed of becoming a lawyer, but he was fired just a week before qualifying to practice. That blow pushed him toward acting, where he once risked his life by diving into an icy river for a film scene and nearly drowned. His personal life was equally unstable. He struggled deeply with alcohol and painkiller addiction, partly due to recurring injuries from action films. Prolonged stress forced Butler into rehab, while his romantic life repeatedly fell apart. Short-lived relationships with Hollywood stars tied his name to gossip rather than a lasting marriage. Today, Butler is 56 and still standing strong in the film industry. Dividing his time between Los Angeles and New York, he continues producing and acting in major projects, maintaining the image of a star associated with gritty, intense roles. After more than 2 decades at the top, Butler has built an estimated net worth of $80 million, a testament to his relentless work and resilience in overcoming addiction, accidents, and depression. Lena Headey as Queen Gorgo. Lena Catherine Headey was born on October 3, 1973, in Hamilton, Bermuda, into an English-Irish family. In 2006, she played Queen Gorgo, the loyal and proud wife of King Leonidas, at age 33. The role not only elevated her name in Hollywood, but also etched in audiences' minds the image of a woman who was both tender and strong. Yet her real life was filled with painful turns. The spotlight of success could not shield Headey from personal struggles. After marrying musician Peter Lawgren in 2007, she gave birth to her first son in 2010, only to fall into severe postpartum depression. Headey admitted she had to fight daily against the darkness as her marriage crumbled and her finances dwindled. The 2013 divorce became a bitter custody battle, with accusations of financial abuse leaving her repeatedly in dire straits. The turmoil continued when she entered a new relationship with filmmaker Dan Caden, giving birth to a daughter in 2015, but separating again in 2019. With an unstable personal life and the pressures of fame, Headey turned to smoking and tattoos as coping mechanisms. Marital conflicts, depression, and financial worries intertwined, making her life a constant cycle of stress and uncertainty. Now 52, Lena Headey has found new peace with actor Mark Menchaca, whom she married in 2022. After many falls and recoveries, she has managed to sustain her career, exploring directing and taking part in international television projects. Her net worth is currently estimated at around $12 million, a modest figure compared to her stature, yet one that reflects years spent balancing glory with hardship. Dominic West as Tiernan. Dominic Gerard Francis Eagleton West was born on October 15, 1969, in Sheffield, England. In 2006, at age 37, he played Tiernan, the treacherous Spartan politician who used power and desire to isolate Leonidas in 300. The role made audiences despise him, but also showcased West's nuanced acting, expanding his international career. Yet in real life, his personal life was filled with tension and marital drama that mirrored the villain he portrayed on screen. After his breakthrough in The Wire, West became a familiar face in both American and British television. But as the spotlight grew, so did his struggles. Years of heavy drinking led to repeated loss of control, conflicts with colleagues, and self-sabotage. The peak of scandal came in 2020, when photos surfaced of him being intimate with actress Lily James in Rome, despite being married to Catherine Fitzgerald. The images sent his nearly two-decade marriage into crisis, forcing the couple to appear before the press insisting on their happy family, though the inner strain and hurt were impossible to hide. Catherine, his college sweetheart and wife, tried to hold their family of 4 children together, but the public was relentless. West was branded a cheater, his career wavered, and he faced crushing pressure both at work and at home. The fractures left scars on his psyche, turning a man once praised for his gentlemanly demeanor into a target of criticism. Even he admitted that fame never erased the guilt and torment of being torn between love, ambition, and fatherhood. By 2025, at age 56, Dominic West continues acting, balancing his career with protecting his family. After 3 decades in the industry, he holds an estimated net worth of $20 million, built from television, theater, and film. Michael Fassbender as Stelios. Michael Fassbender was born on April 2, 1977, in Heidelberg, Germany, and raised in Ireland. At 29, he played Stelios in 300, 2006, the fearless Spartan warrior who charged into battle with a smile and unbreakable spirit. But his life off-screen was far from smooth, marked by scandals and personal struggles. From an early age, Fassbender had a risk-taking nature. His passion for speed pushed him not only on film sets but also on professional racetracks, leading to several dangerous accidents. This obsession often worried his wife, actress Alicia Vikander, as their careers and family could shatter with a single crash. But that was not his only painful chapter. In 2011, ex-girlfriend Sunawin Andrews accused him of domestic violence, resulting in a temporary restraining order. Though the case later faded quietly, its shadow lingered over his career, especially during the rise of the Me Too movement. Marriage brought its own pressures. After marrying Vikander in 2017, the couple became constant targets of public attention. Behind the flashes of cameras, they struggled to balance international careers with family life. After having 2 children, Fassbender stepped away from acting for nearly 8 years to focus on his family and his racing career. He later described those years as a difficult separation, both an escape from Hollywood pressures and an attempt to regain control of his life. By 2025, at age 48, Fassbender has returned to the screen with The Killer and Black Bag, proving he remains one of the finest actors of his generation. Though his past often shook his career, he continues to rise, seeking challenging roles while living with his passion for racing. After nearly 2 decades in the industry, his net worth is estimated at around $40 million, built from global blockbusters and professional racing. Stephen McHattie as Loyalist. Stephen McHattie was born on February 3, 1947, in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, Canada. In 2006, at age 59, he played the Loyalist in 300, a minor character who nevertheless left an impression with his stern presence and familiar weathered face. But behind his endurance on screen lay a life marked by hardship, both in health and in matters of the heart. The 1990s were a particularly difficult period. After his marriage to actress Meg Foster ended, McHattie fell into a psychological crisis that led to a prolonged battle with depression. That family upheaval forced him to step back from the stage, a world he had once been passionate about, in order to stabilize his life. Yet, through determination, he gradually returned to film and television, carving out a niche with gritty performances, often as villains or characters with deeply conflicted inner lives. Before his personal struggles could ease, his health presented another challenge. Years of heavy smoking left him with heart disease, and in 2010 he underwent major surgery. This turning point forced him to change his lifestyle, reducing his stage work in order to focus on his health. His family, his second wife, actress Lisa Houle, and their 3 children, became his anchor, helping him sustain his career in the demanding world of film. By 2025, at age 78, Stephen McHattie still appears in independent projects, holding on to his reputation as one of the familiar faces of Canadian cinema. His net worth is estimated at around $6 million, earned largely from hundreds of film and television roles across more than 50 years of acting. Peter Mensah as Persian Messenger. Peter Mensah was born on August 27, 1959, in Chirrah, Ghana, into an academic family. In 2006, at age 47, he appeared in 300 as the Persian Messenger, the character who set the stage for Sparta's fateful clash with the mighty Persian Empire. His few minutes on screen, marked by a cold, sharp expression and a shocking death under Leonidas's famous kick, turned Mensah into an unforgettable icon of the film. Yet behind the scenes, his life was filled with challenges and pain. His childhood was shaped by his family's migration from Ghana to England, where they endured racism and financial hardship. To escape those struggles, he turned to martial arts at age 6, but his passion became a double-edged sword. In 2005, during training, he suffered a severe fracture that nearly ended his acting career. That incident, however, became a turning point, forcing him to grow tougher. Soon after came the opportunity to appear in 300, opening the door for Mensah to become a familiar face in action and epic films. But success did not bring a peaceful life. Mensah spent years in solitude in England and later in Canada, as his career often required him to live far from his family. Romantic relationships also faltered under the weight of constant travel and professional pressure. He once confessed that behind the spotlight of Spartacus or Avatar were long, lonely nights spent wrestling with emptiness and scars, both physical and emotional. Peter Mensah passed away in early 2025 at the age of 65, from complications related to old injuries and age. His net worth was estimated at around $5 million, built from a wide range of action roles and voice work. Vincent Regan as Captain Artemis. Vincent Regan was born on May 16, 1965, in Swansea, Wales. At age 41, he played Captain Artemis in 300, 2006, the loyal right-hand man of King Leonidas, who fought until his last breath at Thermopylae. The role not only highlighted the loyalty and tragic heroism of a Spartan warrior, but also showcased Regan's trademark intensity and commanding presence. Yet behind the cinematic spotlight, his real life carried many hardships, both in career and marriage. After the success of Troy and 300, Regan longed to move into directing, founding his own film company to pursue a passion project based on Macbeth. However, financial risk-taking combined with poor management left him in debt, nearly facing bankruptcy in 2015. Those were grueling years, as Regan struggled to maintain his acting career while trying to save his collapsing company. His marriage also suffered turbulence. In 2010, after nearly a decade together, he and actress Emilia Curtis divorced due to overwork and irreconcilable tension. The separation left a deep scar, affecting his mental health and stage career, his original artistic passion. Though they later managed to partially mend relations for the sake of their children, Regan continued to live with emotional loss that lasted for years. Today, Vincent Regan is 60, still active in film and television, recently gaining attention as Vice Admiral Garp in One Piece. After more than 30 years in the industry, he has built an estimated net worth of around $5 million, largely from his work in film and theater. David Wenham as Dilios. David Wenham was born on September 21, 1965, in Sydney, Australia. In 2006, at age 41, he appeared in 300 as Dilios, the one-eyed Spartan warrior who survived to recount Sparta's tragic heroism for future generations. The role served as both witness and symbol of resilience, cementing Wenham's talent in Hollywood after his memorable portrayal of Faramir in The Lord of the Rings. Yet behind the cinematic glory, his personal life carried hidden pressures and struggles. Wenham came from humble roots, raised in a large Catholic family with 7 siblings. His acting journey began in local theater before he gradually transitioned into Australian television. His unexpected fame as Diver Dan in Sea Change in the late 1990s turned him into a national sex symbol, a title he always rejected. Behind his humor and gentle smile, Wenham often admitted feeling burdened by a public image that did not reflect his true self, modest, private, and quietly anxious. In his personal life, Wenham has had a long-term relationship with actress and yoga teacher Kate Agnew, with whom he has 2 daughters. However, they never married, fueling speculation in the Australian media about his views on commitment. Wenham himself regarded family as sacred and private, keeping it far from public scrutiny. Yet that very choice often led to him being labeled as enigmatic, caught between his desire for privacy and the media's curiosity. By 2025, at age 60, David Wenham remains active in film, theater, and international television projects. In 2023, he was appointed a member of the Order of Australia, recognizing his artistic contributions. His net worth is estimated at around $3 million, enough for a comfortable life with his partner and 2 daughters in Brisbane. Wenham's life stands as proof of an artist who chose authenticity and quiet stability in a turbulent entertainment world. Andrew Tiernan as Ephialtes. Andrew James Tiernan was born on November 30th, 1965 in Ladywood, Birmingham, England. In 2006, at age 41, he played Ephialtes in 300, the deformed outcast who betrayed Sparta and opened the gates for the Persian army. To embody the role, Tiernan endured hours of heavy prosthetic makeup, transforming into one of the film's most terrifying figures. Yet if Ephialtes on screen symbolized betrayal, Tiernan in real life also faced battles with darkness just as fierce. In his youth, Tiernan fell into drug addiction, a bleak chapter that repeatedly derailed his budding career. In 1990, he entered rehab, determined to rebuild his life, but the damage remained. Weakened health, unstable emotions, and a personal record marked by scars. Even after breaking free from drugs, he often clashed with directors or colleagues, losing work opportunities and preventing his undeniable talent from ever reaching true stardom. During the 2000s, after The Pianist, and especially 300, Tiernan's career seemed on the verge of revival. Still, he lived in solitude and instability. Audiences remembered him as a chameleon actor, capable of becoming anyone, from poet to murderer to grotesque villain. But few saw the man behind the mask, constantly fighting to hold his place in the industry. These professional setbacks didn't just cost him opportunities, they also weighed heavily on his personal life. Today, at 60, Andrew Tiernan continues to appear in smaller projects, working both as an actor and as an independent director. After more than 3 decades in the arts, his estimated net worth is about $2 million, a modest figure compared to his peers of the same era. Rodrigo Santoro as Xerxes. Rodrigo Santoro was born on August 22, 1975, in Petrópolis, Brazil. At age 31, he stepped into the role of Xerxes in 300, 2006. The arrogant God King, overflowing with power and ambition to conquer the world. Behind the cinematic glory, however, Santoro bore invisible pressures that often pulled his spirit into dark places. In Brazil, his career had already made him a star, but it also trapped him in the cycle of fame. Being branded a beauty icon meant the media constantly scrutinized him, dismissing his artistic efforts and focusing only on his looks. That tension built over the years, leaving Santoro struggling with bouts of quiet depression. Even when he appeared in Hollywood productions such as Love Actually or Charlie's Angels, he carried the weight of insecurity, always needing to prove he was more than just a handsome face. His personal life was just as turbulent. His relationship with actress Luana Piovani ended bitterly after he discovered her betrayal, a wound that cut deeply. After years of searching, he found stability with Mel Francowiak, who became his wife and the mother of their daughter, Nina. Yet even with a family, he still had to learn to balance the image of a global star with that of a simple husband and father. It was a silent, difficult struggle, no less demanding than any role he had ever played. By 2025, Rodrigo Santoro has turned 50, continuing to work in international film and television, from Westworld to Ben-Hur and Focus. After more than 3 decades in the arts, he has built an estimated net worth of $10 million, the fruit of a lifelong battle against prejudice, pressure, and the darkness within. Tom Wisdom as Astinos. Tom Wisdom was born on February 18, 1973, in England. In 2006, at age 33, he portrayed Astinos in 300, the young, spirited son of a Spartan general. Though brief, the role was iconic, as Astinos' tragic death in battle became both a source of grief and strength for his father. But in real life, Wisdom would face wounds just as painful, though of a different kind. Wisdom's career spanned stage, television, and film, but he never reached the same dazzling fame as many of his 300 co-stars. Despite appearances in The Boat That Rocked and Dominion, he was often typecast into supporting roles. Struggling to establish himself in Britain left him questioning his path, wondering if he had chosen the wrong profession. Behind his calm exterior, he carried years of quiet loneliness. His deepest pain came from his private life. His marriage ended in 2015 in a bitter divorce filled with disputes over assets, leaving him shaken and emotionally drained. Wisdom admitted that the experience sapped his energy for life, nearly pushing him to withdraw from acting altogether. In the following years, he gradually returned to smaller projects, but the scars of that personal collapse remained, visible in the quiet sadness reflected in his eyes. Today, at 52, Tom Wisdom continues working in the arts, though more cautiously and discreetly. After weathering so many storms, he has built an estimated net worth of $2 million, a modest figure, but one that reflects the difficult path he has endured. Andrew Pleavin as Daxos. Andrew Pleavin was born on April 13, 1968, in London, England. At age 38, he played Daxos in 300, 2006, the Greek commander who allied with Sparta at Thermopylae. Though not a central role, Pleavin portrayed a seasoned warrior, capturing both the solidarity and the unease of the Allies before the overwhelming might of the Persian Empire. Yet behind the silver screen, he was a man who repeatedly faced loss and personal tragedy. His youth was tied closely to martial arts. He earned a black belt at 18 and competed actively for 5 years. But his passion came at a heavy price. In 2000, a training accident caused a serious knee injury that derailed his rising career. Though he pushed through the pain to continue acting, he never fully regained his physical strength. This forced him to limit action roles, a decision that reflected both his resilience and his regret at the opportunities he lost. His personal life was equally turbulent. His marriage to actress Ramla Walker ended in divorce in 2007, leaving him with one child as his anchor. During that period, he battled both physical injury and family crisis, often falling into emotional exhaustion. When the COVID-19 pandemic struck, multiple projects were canceled, and Pleavin faced unemployment, forcing him to pause his acting career and find ways to support his child. In 2025, at age 57, Andrew Pleavin still appears in small roles in film and television, though no longer with the prominence he once enjoyed after 300. After more than 3 decades in the industry, his estimated net worth stands at about $1 million, a modest sum that reflects his turbulent journey. Kelly Craig as Oracle. Kelly Craig was born in October 1984 in Alberta, Canada, but grew up in Montreal. In 2006, at just 22, she made her film debut in 300 as the Oracle, the mysterious maiden chosen for her beauty to deliver Sparta's prophecies. The role took her from modeling into film, but in real life it also marked the beginning of years filled with hardship. The fashion world, which Kelly had entered in her early 20s, was harsh and unforgiving. Constant comparisons and scrutiny forced her to maintain her figure through extreme diets. The pressure over her appearance led to an eating disorder that severely damaged both her physical and mental health. Even though she graced the covers of Elle Canada and Elle Quebec, Kelly often admitted that behind the flashing cameras, she felt like nothing more than a puppet, controlled by the industry's ruthless standards. After 300, Kelly found few acting opportunities. Her career in film essentially ended with her role as the Oracle, while others around her continued to rise. Choosing privacy, she withdrew from the spotlight, focusing instead on personal well-being and trying to restore her health. Still, the haunting sense of public judgment followed her, leaving her with a quiet, lasting sadness born of both fame and despair. Now 41, Kelly Craig lives a private life and rarely appears in public. Her net worth is estimated at around $500,000, mostly from her modeling work during her peak years. From magazine covers to her haunting presence as the Oracle in 300, her story reflects the brutal cost of the entertainment industry, a fleeting flash of light that can cast shadows lasting a lifetime. Nearly 2 decades have passed, and the cast of 300 are no longer the immortal warriors we once knew, but human beings carrying the scars of time, tragedy, and change. These ups and downs make their stories even more haunting than the film itself. So tell us, who do you think has changed the most in these 20 years? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to follow the channel for more unexpected journeys of Hollywood stars.